me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm Justine Gervais. We close out our college series tonight, and it was a major success thanks to our students. Here's what happens next. The top 3 go to the finals and will split the $25,000 cash. There's no question they're all destined for greatness and big things are coming their way. As for the judges, they have their work cut out for them. A lot of tallying to do, right, Deb? And here's what people don't know is that you can lose your round and still go to the finals. And that's why the scoring is so important. So what's on your mind, Deb?
Well, I'm just really amazed and optimistic with the innovative ways these kids are using the resources and talents and the beauty of Maine to drive economic and social growth. It's pretty wonderful.
Yes, it is. Andrew.
Well, I couldn't agree with Deb more. We've seen such great presentations. And, I think the Grow Guys come to mind for me. Cubby and Sled Tracks are all a few that come up top of mind for me. I do have to say that I am just so bullish on Maine and Maine's bright future, hearing these young people present and their ideas.
Way to go, Andrew. And finally, John.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of this. It's so interesting to see all the energy. And I'm especially interested to see a lot of the entrepreneurs that are looking at Maine and seeing what is already there and how you leverage that, whether it's the hemp industry or snowmobiling or anything else. I'm really happy to see the thinking that way and thinking about year-round economic growth.
Excellent. Our first pitch comes from Colby College. It's a student that's doing a lot of good for kids. Let's watch Momentum.
So here's the deal. Computers are here and they aren't going anywhere. According to government sources, over 50% of STEM jobs require computing skills, and computing skills are paramount to the successes of the 21st century student. All you've got to do is look around to see that computing has taken over everything. And let me tell you, this takeover has only just begun. So how are you going to teach computing to these 56.4 million K-12 students? Let's look at the options. We can all agree that we need something that's low cost and easy to understand. If we want to keep our kids engaged, we're also going to want something that's physically tangible. Stuff that's on the left side of this diagram might work for the older students, but how are we going to build the base in elementary and middle school? You can't just teach an 11-year-old C++ and Arduino wiring. Now, what if I told you that I have developed something that's in all of these circles that will cost much less than the competition? Momentum's a cheap, easy to use, and engaging little box with fun, programmable lights, screens, and sensors. Here it is. What happens is the kids log into the website, then they create code by dragging code blocks into their place, like here on the top left. On the bottom left is what the box will look like, and on the right is the technical diagram of the box. The code blocks turn into the text code, which you can see here. Then the text code goes into the compiler, and out comes C code, which is readable by the box. The C code is uploaded into the box, and the box runs the program. Now, this is so easy to use that an 11-year-old could program something like a thermometer that lights up in different colors based on the temperature. And what I've got right here is the way to teach our kids computing and computational skills. As I've shown you already, there is nothing else that's got the triple crown of low cost, physically tangible, and easy to understand. Having a product that is low cost will allow schools to order enough units so that every student can take one home. Physically tangible will make the act of computational thinking fun, and easy to understand will make these units usable by the younger generations. And you might ask, who cares? Well, I'll counter that by asking, how are our kids going to learn computing skills? What's going to happen in this increasingly tech-centered future if we don't do a good job at teaching them this stuff? In 20 years, having computing skills is going to be as important as knowing how to touch type. And what's in it for you? Well, right now we're going through a digital revolution as significant as the Industrial Revolution. I am giving you the opportunity to help in something that is capitalizing on this revolution in a good-natured and ethical way. And I promise you, if I don't make this, then someone else will.
Nick, you're amazing. And you're right. Somebody is definitely going to invent that. Good for you.
Thank you.
Deb, why don't you start us off?
So, Nick, as you've looked at your different avenues for marketing this, the education process, sales cycle is pretty darn slow, even if it's not expensive.
Yes.
So what's your idea of who you're going to target and how you're going to go after them?
Yeah. So I'm going to target basically the administration and teachers of elementary and middle schools, especially private schools, because there's a lot more red tape involved in the public sector. So my ideal first target would be in the private schools. And I have a number of contacts who are in the educational technology business who could help me learn ways to market this. But my first instinct for marketing is to directly contact the people who I'm going to be selling to and see if I can come in with like the prototype and just directly show them and then offer them a deal. That would be my ideal situation.
Andrew.
Well, Nick, I really liked your presentation, and I agree we're in a technological revolution for certain. So definitely I like your goal in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. How do you think you're going to get the teachers to teach the students with this box?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very intuitive and easy to use interface. So the teachers can basically tell the students, I mean, they show the students the boxes and they show them how they work and that they can do these things. Then the teachers teach the kids how to use the interface, which is also very simple. And then the teachers can give assignments like create a thermometer or create like a clock or something that the students can do. And the students will be able to take those assignments home and work on them. So yeah, it'll be fairly simple.
John.
Well, Nick, you're definitely riding a wave out there for sure. I have been in the ed tech space a while ago, and I can confirm that there's a ton of thinking and activity going on. I guess my question for you is, why the box? You know, a lot of software, a lot of streaming, a lot of online education. Why the physical box?
It's simple. It's simple. It's easy to make. It's cheap to make, more importantly, but it's very simple. And I think it gets the job done, and I think it can be fun and fantastic. Yeah, it's simple.
Simple and cheap is always good. Deb.
To that end with the box, you're going to have various levels of support or applications depending on whether it's K through 3, 4, 5, and middle school?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it'll be able to get a little bit more complex with the coding. Yeah.
Great.
And we have time for one last quick question, Andrew.
Well, I'm curious about artificial intelligence with web page writing. You know, you've got software that really does this for you. So I'm interested in your opinion on that.
Well, it's, yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's pretty simple to create a web page. So like regarding like the actual HTML elements, I definitely think that it's a great idea to just have like the AI do that. But there's definitely a lot of like JavaScript applications that you're going to want to program by hand. You're going to want to do it manually because you can't teach a computer how to code. Well, not yet.
Great job, Nick. Highly educational for kids. So good for you for doing this. Congratulations. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our next pitch, so don't go away.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, if you want to innovate and if you want to grow, if you're an organization here in Maine, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Eaton Peabody, a Maine-based law firm serving generations of Maine businesses and families from offices in Augusta, Bangor, Brunswick, Ellsworth, and Portland.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our second company is designed to help kids too, From the University of Maine at Orono, let's watch Co-Parent Co-op.
Hi, my name is Emma Richardson, and I'm a graduate student studying human development at the University of Maine. I'm also a co-founder of the Co-Parent Co-op, an app-based intervention which helps teach divorced and separated parents to work together while raising their kids. Here, we have Jack and Charlotte, two parents in a typical Maine family. Over the past few years, they've begun fighting relentlessly and are both miserable. They tried working things out themselves and were seeing a therapist to help them communicate. But in the end, Jack filed for divorce and joint custody. Charlotte was enraged, and working together has become impossible. Now, their kids are struggling in school and think that everything is their fault. With a backed-up court system and no supportive resources, how will they make any progress in the next few months? Enter the Co-Parent Co-op, a court-recommended app which will help them rebuild a respectful relationship focused on their kids. Like similar apps, the co-op has user profiles, a shared calendar, and a messaging system. We take this to the next level with two unique features. First, simple collaborative games and tasks will teach parents to work together as a team. And second, an artificial intelligence-based feedback system will guide them to change their behavior. New users will have certain restrictions in place which will let them practice communicating, but over 6 months, these restrictions are lifted and they have more freedom to work together on their own. Using evidence-based therapy strategies, our program is engaging, accessible, and individualized. Maine is the ideal place for this with its high rural population, high divorce rates, and lack of quality mental health services. Our team, made of myself and Dr. Daniel Pullman, a marriage and family therapist, identified 3 channels to market: courts, therapists, and co-parents themselves. We believe that by marketing to courts first, we will get the app straight into the hands of parents who are struggling the most. Last year, there were about 4,000 divorces in Maine, 800 of which were high conflict. If we were to help just 250 of those families and charge $200 per parent, we would generate upwards of $100,000 in revenue. This funding would come from a combination of court contracts, co-parenting program contracts, and parents themselves. The money from Greenlight Maine will go towards further development and hiring experts to help develop our unique features. In addition to our expertise in social science and mental health, we gained a better understanding of the tech and business worlds through a commercialization accelerator offered by the Foster Center for Student Innovation. The national divorce market generates $11.7 billion per year, and the average Maine divorce costs more than $8,000 per parent. Parents are desperate for a low-cost solution, and this problem will only grow as COVID-19 is causing them further stress and financial strain. We need to be proactive, and we would love for Greenlight Maine to take part in the social innovation and be an agent of change. Thank you.
Emma, you are such a social innovator, and I see this as a useful tool for parents, so kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here for the opportunity and everything.
Great. Deb, kick us off.
So great presentation, obviously very needed. You talked about your AI algorithms and stuff, and I'm assuming those are proprietary. Have you looked at patenting them or doing anything with them?
Yeah, sure, Deb, that's an excellent question. So as part of the accelerator that I participated in last spring, which was through the Foster Center for Student Innovation, we were able to meet with a patent lawyer who works there. And so we decided through him that the best decision right now would be to copyright the curriculum that we're putting together first. And so once we're able to get to the point where we have the specific algorithms together, then we can move towards a patent. So that's in the future, and we'll hopefully get there, but just not there quite yet.
That Foster Center is amazing. Okay, Andrew.
Well, Emma, I thought you did a great job, and I think you got a super solution here. So I'm excited for you. My question is about the revenue model and whether you might want to consider using an advertising model, or if you've considered an advertising model.
Yeah, Andrew, excellent. So neither me nor my co-founder, Dr. Pullman, are super knowledgeable about business models. So we're kind of in a stage where we're still figuring that out. but ultimately the goal is for it to be financially accessible. So we're hoping to divide up that $200 per parent fee between multiple funding sources. And so that way everyone can kind of chip in a little bit. So I'm not super knowledgeable about, how to go through that like marketing piece, but hopefully through Top Gun this spring, we're going to want to participate in that, and they'll be able to help us out, because financial barriers, both for the therapists we would be marketing towards and for parents, are huge. But even if parents were able to pay even just a couple dollars, research shows that they'll be more invested in the program in the long run rather than if it were just free. So we're working on that, and we'll keep you posted.
John.
Yeah, hey, Emma, I love the idea of this. I think we can all relate to the need out there for it. I'm interested in your thought. The content and the substance of this obviously is very important. How much is there sort of cutting edge theory? How difficult is it to bring the information so that the practice is in line with the theory for this?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And so in that way, John, we, as, a grad student, and my co-founder is a professor, we're both, really interested in the research behind this. There are some games which therapists have been using to help in their own practices, nothing towards co-parents specifically, but there's a little bit of research there. But this is definitely a really interesting field that's in its infancy. And so we're kind of on the front lines in that sense. But, games for families are really, really therapeutic, bringing people together. And there are some co-parenting apps out there, but they're mostly resource-based. So there's nothing which really pushes parents to change. They can use the messaging and the calendars and the profiles as they wish, but nothing to really push them towards change. So that's where we're hoping to kind of, step in and really bring something innovative to the table.
Nice. Well, you've definitely done your homework, and I know great things are coming your way. So just stick with it, Emma.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you guys and everything.
Yeah, and you as well. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, our judges are going to talk this through, so don't go away.
Running a small business here in Maine is personal. At Kennebec Savings Bank, you'll work with local people who are just as invested in your success as you are. Every one of us. Experience the difference at Kennebec Savings Bank today.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's time for our judges to deliberate on momentum and co-parent co-op. Take it away, Deb.
Thank you. So momentum, it's a really super crowded and increasingly crowded field of stuff. And the question you brought up, Andrew, about AI and code writing itself, right now there is code writing itself. And there's this whole debate going on, starting with, do we need to teach kids to code? Because code will write itself. And so I think that's a really important idea that needs to get considered as we look at kind of that market for kids. And getting schools to pay, even if it's from a private standpoint, is still, I think, going to be formidable, and getting teachers to rethink how they do their curriculum, which they've spent time doing anyway. So I have some concerns there on a unique value prop and the ability to really scale that. As I thought about parent co-op, I like to talk about an obvious need that's not going away anytime soon. And the way that it's so specifically focused for them right now on Maine, and Maine is a great test bed and what they can do. I don't know where that'll end up and what can happen with that, but I think the more we do stuff to try, the more likely we'll find some kind of solutions that help.
Andrew.
Well, thank you, Jolene. Momentum is a problem that does need to be solved. I do think AI potentially may be that solution. So I get a little concerned about, creating boxes that kids may be bored with from that standpoint. Co-parent to me does feel like there's unfortunately a big market, and there is a lot of need out there. And so this is definitely going to be a tough decision.
They always are. Okay, John.
Well, I guess I buy maybe more than the other two, the sort of ongoing need for coding education for sure. I think that will stay with us for the foreseeable future. And I think it's great that Momentum has identified what they sort of believe is a sort of a part of that market that hasn't been occupied. As I think I mentioned in my question, I'm a little bit stuck on the physical box. There's a consumer electronics industry out there that's producing all kinds of stuff that can do all kinds of things that can be fairly simple to use if you're trying to code. And a lot of coding education is out there doing that, making use of current consumer electronics. Co-parent co-op, I was really impressed. I agree on the need. They have a lot of work to do on the business model, but I'm impressed with how much thinking Emma and her partner have done on the theory behind it, what the need is, and what they're trying to do to fulfill that. So very impressive.
Seeing this is the last episode of the series, how about some closing remarks? Deb, let's start with you.
Well, considering the last 12, 13 months of life, I mean, if going through this and watching these doesn't just give you unbelievable hope for the future, then I really don't know what does.
Great, absolutely. Andrew.
I've been so impressed with these contestants. I think Maine has a very, very bright future.
I would agree. John.
Well, it's been great to be a part of this. I actually want to compliment Greenlight Maine, especially for doing this at the college level. You can tell there are all kinds of levels and ideas and stages of development here, and having the ability to talk to people about their ideas and get some initial resources, I think is a great thing. Makes me really optimistic to see.
Excellent, and thank you all. You've done an outstanding job. You've been mentors. You've offered to connect with them offline, and please come back and see us again. We need to take a quick break. We come back, we'll have our Inspiring Mainer. Don't go away.
What parts of my marketing should I do myself, and where should I get help? While the answer to this may vary based on your business size and marketing skill, the short answer is, where do you add the most value? In nearly every business, you're the best one to answer customer messages, take photos of what's happening in your business, scope out competition, and set goals and priorities. But you should ask for help where you lack time and expertise, like paid advertising, curating resourceful content and third-party content for your social media and email marketing, working with search engines, building websites, and measuring results. It makes sense to get the smartest people on your team, and outsourcing can be a great solution. Make sure you trust your provider to tell your story.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. As part of the college series, we're sitting down with some of the leaders across our campuses. And today I'd like to welcome Justine Bassett, who is the director of the P.D. Merrill Makerspace at University of New England. It is so good to see you, Justine. How's it going?
Thank you. It's great to be back. Actually, great to be back in the state of Maine. I grew up in Maine, but I've been out of the state for 20 years. And it was really this opportunity at UNE that brought me back. I'm very excited to be here.
You know, I love hearing stories like this of people coming home to Maine. What made you come back?
I think what I saw at UNE was very exciting. I think that this university is very much promoting innovation, not just with our students, but also broadly in the state of Maine. I think that they have a vision to really impact the state and beyond that. So that was exciting. And when I came here, I had a chance to meet with leaders across the university. And what I saw was that they're so excited to bring the skills of innovation to students. So I can't wait to be a part of that.
For folks at home who might not be familiar with the Makerspace, what goes on there?
Sure. So the Makerspace is an innovation lab. So we're open to students across the university who have an idea. A lot of people think of it as a shop, but it's so much more than that, because it's really about a student who might be in nursing or in marine science who just has an idea, something they've seen with a patient that they want to make better. So we provide mentorship, advice, supplies, tools, help finding customers, and really the skills that allow the students to take their ideas further. It's really inspiring to me to see how passionate our students are. Like the 3 students we have in this year's competition, they're from 3 different majors. One's a graduate student, the other 2 are undergraduates. And when I talked to one of the students and said, you know, you're in a demanding program, why are you continuing? Why are you part of this? And she said, I just care so much about what our idea can do for rural Maine, for athletes in rural Maine, for physical therapists in rural Maine. And so it's very inspiring to me to see that the students care about making a difference.
Perfect. How about some advice for our student entrepreneurs on the show?
Come to the Makerspace or find one in your area. I'd also say look for mentors, talk to customers, and stay curious. Very important to don't assume you have the answer, but stay curious and you'll find the opportunities. Innovation can be taught.
Perfect. Well, congratulations on your new position at UNE.
Thank you.
And we look forward to working with you in the future. This is great.
Thank you so much.
All right. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have today's winner. So don't go away.
For over 25 years, Kennebec Savings Bank has hired 10% of its workforce through our college internship program. Many of those early college interns are in leadership positions at the bank today. Experience the difference at the bank that invests in its future.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine, the college edition. It's time to find out who is moving on in the competition. Will it be Colby College's Momentum or UMaine Orono's Co-Parent Co-op? Judges, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. That means Co-Parent Co-op is moving on in the competition. Congratulations, Emma. Awesome job. How do you feel?
I'm feeling great now. Thank you so much. It was really great meeting you guys, and I hope I get to see you guys again. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to cross paths in the future. So
that's going to do it for us. This is the end of our college season. Next week, we begin our new series called Elevating Voices. We'd like to thank the crew of Greenlight Maine, and we'd like to thank all of you at home for your enthusiasm for entrepreneurism. You can check out all of our episodes on greenlightmaine.com. Have a great night. Good night.